There are moments where our business becomes conversation and our conversation becomes worship, and our worship involves prayers that remind us that we are truly all here together as one body, gathered in the name and the Spirit of Christ. And in that spirit of being one body with many members, I would ask, as our discussion and conversation unfolds in a very limited, and I'm sorry, a very limited amount of time that is to follow, that we would listen. As somebody said, that's what we do in hearings, but let's continue to listen and hear respectfully. I would ask that we hold the conversation in prayer rather than applause at this time, so that all can feel heard and all can feel affirmed, even if we agree or don't agree with what the person has said. So if we could continue on, we are going to open this up for discussion at the microphones. These are timed discussions, if you read in your rules, about 2 minutes, and we have Steve here who is going to be timing for us. And as I said, I apologize that we have a very limited amount of time to hear this resolution as the plenary session schedule stands. So if anyone would like to speak, please just boldly walk forward to a microphone and keep your eye on Steve, who will be waving at you.
Brothers and sisters of the conference, I was asked to lead a discussion among the young adults of the conference as to the merits of this resolution. And when I approached it, I was very angry. Very angry. But as I talked with people, especially the people who had been part of this discussion in years past, David Anderson, Marcia McLaughlin, David Anderson especially, shrugged and was philosophical and ultimately grateful, because he said that because our conference was not ONA, it did not allow any single church to coast. It forced every church to think about it with consequences inside its own walls, and to pay the process of becoming open and affirming so much more attention than if it had been ONA. But brothers and sisters, I am still angry. This resolution is 26 years late. There is no discussion in this resolution of apology, of amends, of reparation, of restitution for the people with HIV and AIDS who have died because of our silence. There is no celebration here that can come without tears and in our hearts the true knowledge of an apology. This vote matters. It matters because, to paraphrase the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, this vote cannot force you to love me, but it can keep you from refusing me on grounds. And that's pretty important.
Karen of this church. So like this. So as a gay person who is going into ministry, I am so proud to be a part of a church that is letting me into ministry, and part of a conference that is saying that yes, they are going to let me into ministry with this conference. But that said, I don't think that this is that gay sexuality, gender expression, I don't think this is the real welcoming challenge that we have right now. I think that's, like Matt said, this is the 26-year-old one. Going to my church, I have never heard anyone say anything like, we do not like how the gays are dressing. We do not like how the gays are behaving in church. we do not think that the gays are really ready for leadership. We do not think that the gays should really be involved in worship that much because the worship isn't really aimed for the gays. I have not heard people say, we don't really just want the gays here. We don't know why they're here. I have heard every single one of these things said about young adults in the church and youth. And as someone who really wants the church to be welcoming to every part of who I am, this is the open and affirming challenge that really matters to me.
Hi, Kim Larson, Wayside Church. I was supposed to be in plenary session 1, but all things being, suggestible, I had to come up to number 2. So I was in the earlier session up here. And one of the concerns some of the people had was regarding what kind of pressure would go on individual churches who hadn't yet gone through the open and affirming process. And I wanted to speak to that briefly. When my church went through the open and affirming process a number of years back, one of the things I learned within myself was that I had internalized a great deal of things that had come from society that I did not like in myself. I didn't agree with these things, but they were there inside of me, and I needed to find a way to get them out. And what I learned about my process was that if I surrounded my negative attitude with positive behaviors, that I could change my attitude. So I started talking differently, I started acting differently, I started behaving in the way I wanted to be. And that gave me the space to grow into the person I wanted to be. And I see this process allowing, if the UCC conference changes its status and becomes open and affirming, it will give the individual churches that haven't yet gone through the open and affirming process the space to step forward and grow into that when they're ready. I don't think there will be any pressure put on the churches that they were hoping not to have. I think this will give them room to grow in a safe and sacred manner.
Excuse me, Donald Schmidt, pastor at Admiral Congregational United Church of Christ in West Seattle. Having been not often but occasionally treated like something indeed less than human because of who I happen to be, I welcome this resolution simply as a way of saying, yeah, you're welcome here. I wish we didn't have to even debate this because I wish it were completely a non-issue, but folks, it is an issue. And it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for us as a church to do something really kind of neat. As I was standing here, I was noticing up here we keep cycling through, no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. And if we mean that, we really need to say that to everyone. Otherwise, what we're really saying is, no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Oh, except there are some exceptions. There are no exceptions. And right now, in this world where gays and lesbians and bisexual and transgender and intersex people are treated occasionally, even in our churches, like less than human, it is such a wonderful, wonderful thing as the body of Christ to say, hold on, yeah, you are welcome here too.
Kimmy.
Sorry, I'm short. Hello, my name is Kimmy. I'm the youth representative on the board, and I go to this church. I am wearing a pipe cleaner tiara. I have little bug ears and flowers, and I think I have some people in my hair too. And I have been here since 10 a.m. on Friday. That's when I came to annual meeting. And I have felt the opening and the affirmingness of everybody here. I'm also bi. I did not know that not every church was open and affirming until Western Regional Youth Event last summer. And so I'm surprised that we're not, because I've never felt like it's been anything else. And for me, that's great. I love every single youth back there has been playing with pipe cleaners this whole time. Or sleeping or texting while listening. We have been listening. Let's make that clear. Yes. But we are still welcome here, and we are still affirmed in who we are. And that is great. And so if we just pass it, then it's like, I don't know if we'll notice a difference, because honestly, we're all awesome people, and we all affirm each other, and we are, like, Davina said, hi, an affirmation. And we should just stay high, or get higher, an affirmation. Get higher, just get higher. And so I think it should be easy to just vote and be like, I love you all. Thank you.
Nick, I think there's somebody behind you who's first.
This is actually a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
He came to Moscow last week, and he just wanted to say a few words. That's okay.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Goshu. I actually was part of UCC and MCC way back when, like in the early 2000s. I went to a Episcopalian church for a while, and I'm back in Seattle. But I don't identify as a Christian, and I want to say that this resolution is still very important because I was a homeless youth here in Seattle, and so I stayed on the Ave in shelters, and this is one of the places that provided services to homeless youth. And so what I'm trying to tell you is it's a very big symbolic move to be able to say to people who don't even identify as Christian, to say that whoever you are, whatever your background, you're okay. And I really want to stress that because a lot of kids who are homeless and on the streets that that your church provides services to, it matters. It really does matter. And I just want you to look at it in a more universal outlet than just the lens of Jesus. That you really do believe that every person is valuable, and that everyone deserves the chance to be treated with respect and dignity. So thank you.
Looks like we have one more.
I'm Margaret Irabara, and I'm a member of this church university. Today, after lunch with the youth program, we played the game that some of your confirmation classes may have played, where you learn about where the United Church of Christ has come from in all the denominations. And what we talked about was that we didn't come together because we don't care what you believe. We came together because we care enough to ask what we believe. So saying yes doesn't mean you have to believe the same as your neighbor. It means we care enough to continue this conversation. So I just want to share that to remember our roots and where we come from. And that we are a denomination that steps up to the challenge. We challenge ourselves and we allow others to challenge us. And that's what's happening today. So I just want to celebrate that from wherever we're coming. Saying yes doesn't mean we have to believe our neighbor or believe the same. It doesn't mean we don't love our neighbor. It means we love each other enough to continue the conversation.
So we have no one else at the microphone, so all of those who are in favor of passing the resolution as amended, as you have seen, please signify so by raising your voting card. Thank you. And thank you again. No. Equally as importantly, because we are of more than one voice, those who are opposed to passing this resolution, please signify so by raising your voting card. And those who would like to abstain, please signify by raising your voting card. The resolution to become an open and affirming conference as the Pacific Northwest Conference has passed.